Hello everybody and welcome to the United Recap with your host, Navicci. You know, this is the show where we catch up with all things Manchester United related that happened in the past week. And before we jump into the show, I just want to leave you guys with one question and I want you guys to answer because it's a serious question, especially based on this last couple of weeks with United. So the question is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting the best out of the current United team? And most importantly, why do you think so? Leave your comments below and let's get into the show. Europa League section of the show, guys. As you know, we played Real Sociedad this week, or last week rather I should say, and it was a stalemate, but then again it was to be expected considering we already basically won the tie, because I mean we thrashed them 4-0 as we saw last week or 2 weeks ago. And yeah man, I wasn't happy with the play. It was definitely very boring. It was like a total snore fest. I was like, you know, it was a total snore fest that game. But you know what we did pick out about that game? The defense was quite great. But overall, let's comment on the squad that was chosen. The squad that was chosen, I wasn't happy with the fact that there was no Ahmad starting, no Mata starting, no Shortire, as well as Galbraith, because at the end of the day, we should have played our youngsters. I mean, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have given a 4-0 lead away. A 4-0 lead at home. Especially considering we had Bruno on the bench and all those people. That's if we played the rotation that I wanted. But nonetheless, we took off Bruno 45 minutes, played the rest for 45. It was kind of decent. I was glad that we got the result at the end of the day, and we threugh to the round of 16. Centre back pairing was actually unexpectedly good. It was unexpectedly good. I did not expect Bailly and Lindelof to turn up like that. I mean, especially Lindelof, bro. He was like. He thought he was LeBron. He thought he was Michael Jordan, throwing up high knees and like slam. Yo, he was crazy. But good game overall. Axel Tuanzebe should have scored, but oh well, Lindelof with his WWE theatrics came through. It was quite nice to watch. I did not know he had that in him. What we learned about that game, interestingly enough, is that Maguire and Lindelof, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Lindelof and Bailly, exceptional. They played very well together. Maguire and Bailly, they played very well together. But hey, I'm telling you, that constant that we know as Magaloff does not work in our team. And you and I both know that. Why Solskjaer still insists on playing them? It's a mystery to both you and I. Furthermore, the gameplay was boring, yet understandable considering where we were in the tie. I mean, we won 4-0 in the first leg, so for what reason do we have to go out, push, and potentially injure some of our players? So, good on that. I'm gonna say something very controversial now. Bailly, minus injuries, is our best centre-back. Fight me in the comments. Let's see what you have to say. Overall, the verdict of the game, I'm just glad that we won. But yeah, man, I'm just glad that we won through to the round of 16. And we are going to play AC Milan. We are going to versus Zlatan Milan. I'm actually quite excited for that game, but as you know, United always gets the most difficult of draws. So we're going to go out there, we're going to show the world. I believe it's next week, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, man, I'm quite excited for that. In fact, you know what? If this game was in the Champions League, people would have been all over it, but yeah, man, we're going to go there either way and take it out. The outcome of it, obviously, was we threw to the round of... The outcome of the game, obviously, is that we are through to the round of 16, which I'm super glad for. Even though I'm not too worried about the Europa League, I'm just glad that we got this far, and I'm sure we can win. We can go to the final. I mean, I'm sure we're the favorites. I mean, the Red Devils in the Europa League. Who would have thought that a couple of years ago? But anyways, my man of the match is Eric Bailly. Ask me why? Just because, I mean, who else could you have really placed as the man of the match? For me, the coolest thing that he did there, like he did like a couple of, not step overs, but like, he like ran. So like as he was with his back facing towards the attacker in our own box, he like basically, he like skilled the bra, he like did this whole thing and he did it like twice. And it was like so cool to watch because Lindelof nor Maguire could ever do something like that. That was quite amazing to watch. We're going to move on to the Premier League section of the show. We move on now to the Premier League section of the show, where we have faced Chelsea, which is traditionally a huge game, but it just didn't live up to expectations. So what is there really to say other than disappointment? So we're going to move on. The squad was not good enough. It was our typical Big Six club where we play McFred and we play Magalov. For those of you who don't know, McFred is McTominay and Fred, and Magalov is Maguire and Lindelof. They were you know, it's like we don't have a midfield when we play those people together, because if you looked at the match yesterday, you would have seen that Lindelof and Maguire weren't really marking anybody, like when we were like playing the ball, but McTominay and Fred, they were all the way back with the centre backs, and there was such a big gap in the midfield. And it was just shocking to see. It's like we were playing with two teams. I couldn't believe that happened. McFred cannot pass. They have a good pass in them every couple of moments, but they are not consistent passes, and I don't think they deserve a place in our starting 11, especially considering the fact we have Donny van de Beek on the bench as well as Matic. Because even though Matic, yes, he's getting old, at the end of the day, I feel he has much more passing range than these two. And in other words, what I called him is the centre-back babysitters for Magalov, that is, as you know. We practically had no midfield as well. So that was, I mean, it's a burden of the style that Oli is playing, because we're bubble wrapping these centre-backs, which is so disappointing. On we move to the Magalov partnership. Again, it was expected, but unexpected at the same time, considering how good Eric Bailly played. So we expected like Maguire and Bailly to play, but Oli pulled another rabbit at that. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't aim to win these Big Six games. They had too much of the ball. They play way too deep, and they did not allow the fullbacks to really push up, because when did you really see Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well as Luke Shaw in the game? You didn't really see them. So that was just disappointing from Oli. Donny van de Beek should have started. Yes, he trained like a session or two more than McTominay, so he should have played. Instead, McTominay comes in. He trained one session and he got put into the starting 11, and he got played for 93 minutes. And you could see the guy was tired. Like, honestly, tell me, do you think if that was Donny van de Beek running there, he would have made the cross into Rashford or James? Personally, I think Donny van de Beek would have done it, but leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Lack of substitutions, no in-game management from Oli. I feel that we are individual brilliance FC. But hey, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for you. Gameplay was negative. Oli didn't want to win. He was so happy just drawing. I mean, his body language, the way he looked on the touchline. I was just so disappointed to see. I mean, if that was Sir Alex Ferguson, he would have been chilling. Sorry, he would have been chilling. He would have been standing there and shouting at the players. He would have been red in his face, chewing his bubble gum. Like, you know how Alex Ferguson is. Solskjaer was just there when Fred took the shot. Hey, lovely job, Fred. Lovely job. Lovely job, Fred. Look at that, Carrick. Stupid. We play like we two teams because our midfield is non-existent, because they're playing defense, and there's such a big space between our defense and our attackers, and that's where we need another midfielder to play. But instead, we're out here babysitting the centre backs, which is. I'm not even going to talk about the penalty. Yes, it was a penalty considering modern rules. However, we shouldn't be moping about it. We had 90 minutes to win the game. Why are we moping about the penalty? So that's just my take on the penalty thing. They were like, to me, the way that Oli plays, there's no tactics, there's no drills. Like, you don't see the players being like 1, 2, pa, 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 pa. They're not like knocking at the bout with intent like City does or Liverpool does. Mind me saying their name on this brilliant channel, but I'm gonna say it like it is. When we have possession of the ball, it's pointless. Like, we're we're not passing the ball with intent. Like, we're just passing the ball to like move it around. That's like all we're doing, which is, I don't like it. You may like it, but I hate it. Verdict: Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is scared of the big six of the big six teams. You know why? Because ever since Tottenham klopped us 6-1, which is so ironic because it's the big six and they gave us 6 of the best, he's been playing this negative football ever since, you know. I mean, we did it last season, but we were playing a bit better last season. We had a better record against the big six. Now we flip it on its side and we're playing better against the smaller teams, which I wanted, but why must we compromise? Why can't it just play good against the big teams and the small teams? Why? Anyways, no in-game management again. McTominay should have got the assist. Rashford or James should have scored the winner. That's the way I see it. The outcome of the game was we drew. We got 1 point. We are second on the log, which is good, but I think we are 12 points behind City. Considering where we were in January, we were like in a title race, you know, we messed it up. We really messed it up. Ollie was all the time saying, we are not title contenders. We are not title contenders. Why should you down your players like that? Yes, it's taking pressure off them, but you know, this is Manchester United at the end of the day. And he knows it better than nobody else because he was part of the greatest Manchester United side. So it's puzzling to me how Ollie's like going about his business now. It's like he's just playing to keep his job. So how I feel, because he's not been ruthless, but hey. Anyways, our next match is Crystal Palace, which I feel we're going to win because, I mean, yes, we lost 3-1 to them the last time, but I'm sure we're over that and I'm sure we'll gain the 3 points there and solidify our place at the second spot. My man of the match was Dave Saves, David De Gea. Did you see Ziyech's shot? It was in, but De Gea just like, and he just saved it. But off we move on to the next part of the show. This is something new. This is called the things I want to get off my chest. The first thing I want to get off my chest is the curse of the big six. Ever since we played Tottenham, we have been putrid. It's nothing short of shambolic. We've scored 1 goal against the big six. 2 games against Arsenal, 0-0. 2 games against Chelsea, 0-0. 1 game against Tottenham, lost 6-1. 1 game against Man City, 0-0. It's been putrid, absolutely putrid. We scored 1 goal, we conceded 7 goals, we've drawn 5 times and 2 losses. Does it really make you feel that we are the second best team in the league? Put your comments down below. I want to hear what you think. Yes, the board is to blame for the lack of players, but Ollie needs to do better with the players that he has. We are putting Van der Beek on the bench. We have Alex Telles on the bench. Well, I'm not saying he should be playing in for sure, but he's quality as well. We need to use our players. And Ollie's out here making 1 sub for 93 minutes. What's up with that? You are the super sub. What kind of you, bro? What kind of you, Ollie? Something else I want to get into my chest, out of my chest, we are Favourites FC. I know I'm going a lot to the name drops here, but we are Favourites FC, McFred and Magaloff. I don't know why they start every game. I'm sure if Donny van der Beek and Eric Bailly was in some other team, they would have been starting in the other teams, especially considering the squad that we have. But hey, yeah, man. No Telles, no Van der Beek, no Bailly, no Tuanzebe, no Matic. But hey, in Ole we trust, right? In Ole we trust. Overly reliant on Bruno Fernandes. That sucks. Name drop that I wanted to. This is cool. So for the game of the big six, we are Ole Gunnar Mourinho. That's his tactics. That's how I think of it. Our attack wasn't bad. It just needs service. Like, your attackers need the ball in order to obviously make something happen. And they weren't given the ball to really make anything happen. And when they were given such crap balls, like in spaces that you can't work, when somebody was hounding them, you know, like, just didn't work, man. McTominay should have crossed proper. You can look at that cross there. He literally, like, the way that the people were were running there. It's like he had the perfect guide into where to put the ball. Instead, he catches on the world of nonsense. So upset with McTominay, should have been subbed. We shouldn't rely on penalties as Manchester United. And other than Cavani, in our current squad, he's injured. Can you tell me what the difference is between this year's squad and last year's squad? Because all I see is Cavani. Yet we have Tellers on the bench, we have Donny van de Beek on the bench, and Amad Diallo. Don't use them. Don't use them. On to the next segment of our show. This is the transfer rumours. The transfer rumours, as you can imagine, are all over the place. So yeah, man, apparently we are in for Holland. And it's not really confirmed because it's just because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says, look, I still have I talked to Holland because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coached him at the Norwegian club Molde. Read this, listen to this. Apparently, according to Spanish report, we are looking for an alternate to Jadon Sancho, perhaps. And guess who that alternate is? Antoine Griezmann. I'm gonna put a picture here of Antoine Griezmann with a short hair because that was the best version of Antoine Griezmann. Not this bro with the long hair. No, brah, no. Apparently, there's rumors with the striker Andre Silva. He's Portuguese striker from Eintracht Frankfurt, same club as Luka Jovic, in case y'all are wondering who he is. And another one would be Khalido Koulibaly, a huge centre back from Napoli. But yeah, and obviously the last one here, and the one that I personally want us to get, other than the couple I mentioned throughout previous shows, Rafael Varane. If we get him, I'll feel somewhat better with my team. And yeah, that is it for the transfer rumors today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below on what you liked about the show, what you didn't. But please subscribe. And the show is getting bigger. I'm hoping you're liking the new format. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'll see you guys next week.